I ask AI to give me the top 10 best-selling print-on-demand products of 2025, but also to give me detailed insights and sales data so that you can uncover untapped opportunities for unique print-on-demand products to sell in your store. And make sure you listen until the end because I also ask AI to give me the worst selling print-on-demand products of 2025. My name is Kerry Egler, here with my co-host Adrian Von Arx, and welcome to the Print on Demand Playbook Podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Print on Demand Playbook Podcast. Excited for today's episode. But first, Adrian, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Happy to be here as always. How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm always interested in this. How is the weather in Arizona?
Oh, beautiful always, except for a couple months in the summer.
But is it getting already getting really hot, or is it?
We've had a couple days in the 80s and 90s in the last week, so which I'm totally okay with. It's past 100 that I'm like, all right,
yeah,
something needs to change, but it's fine. It's totally worth it for the amazing weather the rest of the year. I will take it every day.
Dude, it's 84 in Tulsa right now. Tulsa, Oklahoma.
It's a good temp.
84.
Great temp.
It is so good. It's been so windy though in Oklahoma. We've had fires, and we need rain, really. We need rain. We've had crazy fires, but it has been pretty warm. It's still a little bit up and down, but been pretty warm. And we're almost to tornado season, so got to buckle up. Got to get that room, the storm room ready. Anyways, I'm excited for warm. I really am excited for warm weather. I always feel like when it starts to get warm in the spring, I just come alive. Everything just is awesome. Anyways.
Yeah, man. Blossom with the flowers.
Let's go. All right. So today's episode, really kind of a weird episode. It's interesting. I'm going to explain what I did here. So I had this thought, for this episode. I was like, we talk about every once in a while on the podcast, what are the top selling print on demand products, the best print on demand products. We want to give our audience interesting ideas, keep them up to date with kind of what's trending, those kind of things. But I was like, just a random thought. I was like, what would AI say? Because we always look at reports. The print on demand companies come out with reports. Shopify comes out with reports. We always look at these reports, but I was like, what would AI tell us? Then I had this deeper thought. As I was kind of starting to put this together, I was like, what if I used ChatGPT's deep research feature to find out the top selling print on demand products in 2025? So if you don't know what ChatGPT's deep research is, it's kind of a newer feature. And basically what it does is it autonomously browses the web, analyzes information from multiple sources, and generates detailed reports similar to a research analyst. And it takes 5 to 30 minutes to complete. Wow. So I think this report it actually took longer than 30 minutes. It was taking forever. I was like, it took forever. And so here's what I asked it. I basically said, ChatGPT, tell me the top 10 best-selling products, print-on-demand products in 2025, but I want you to give me detailed insights, interesting data. I want you to cite your sources, and I want you to go in depth on everything. So I used deep research. I waited 40 or 45 minutes. So finally it comes out with this massive report. It was so big. So originally I was looking at the report and I was like, this is great, but I can't read all of this on the podcast. It was just crazy. You can go do this in your own ChatGPT. You do have to be on the $20 or $200 plan. But it was crazy detailed, very interesting, but crazy detailed. So then what I actually did is I actually fed the entire report back into ChatGPT. And I said, okay, you got to cut some things out. So I gave it some instruction on cutting it down a little bit, but still trying to keep the important information. So I think I've got a good list here. So that's how I came up with the list. And I think there's some really interesting insights in here. So we're going to go through these. I'm going to start with the 10th best selling print on demand product. We're going to move through these. What's interesting about this report is for every one of these products, it gives us, not everyone, but most of them, it gives us the market size. So it tells us how big are they? How popular are they? Usually it will tell us how much the products are actually growing, the sales are growing. It'll give us performance and trends, what's trending. with these products. It'll tell us the top niches for these products, which is great.
Love
And
that.
it'll tell us what the buyers are looking for, like what your customers are looking for if you sell this product. And I also specifically ask it to give us some insights on Etsy and Shopify both, because we talk a lot about Shopify, but I know we also talk about Etsy, and I know we have a lot of listeners that use Etsy. And so it gives us a little bit of insight on Etsy and Shopify, kind of what's better, those kind of things. There are definitely, and I won't get into the list, but there are definitely some trends, like some consistent things you're going to see throughout the list, which it's interesting. And also, one other thing that think is pretty interesting is like most of these things align with what we talk about a lot. Like some of the things we talk about, it's right on with that, which I thought was very, very fascinating. Last thing, and then we get into number 10 is I also found it fascinating. And I've got the full report pulled up on my desktop just to kind of, if I want to reference it. But it cites like tons of sources. Actually, it shows there's 26 sources. So you've got sources in here like Gem Pages, Grandview Research, tons of Shopify, Printify, Printful, like just a ton of different websites and print on demand, different things. Like there's a lot of data in here. So let's get into it.
I
Ready?
love data, man.
You ready? Ready to get into
Yeah,
it?
let's do it.
Have you been considering starting up a brand new print on demand or apparel brand in 2025, but you're not sure where to get started and you're not sure what the path actually looks like to get to where you want to go? If you want to learn from me and learn the system that has helped thousands of people from around the globe over the last 5.5 years build profitable online apparel businesses, I want to invite you to go watch my free class over at shirtschool.com. It's completely free. It runs about 60 to 75 minutes, and I'll break down my unique Shirt School system for marketing and selling to help you also build a profitable online apparel brand. And I'll also share some case studies, some success stories from our Shirt School students, and give you an opportunity to come and be a part of what we're doing at Shirt School and learn from us and join our community of like-minded sellers. So if you want to check out that class, just go over to shirtschool.com. Again, it's completely free. We'd love to have you there. And with that, back to the episode. Okay, so number 10, best-selling product, print-on-demand product 2025, pet products for pets and pet lovers. So we're not just talking about pet products for people. We're talking about actual pets. This is specific to print on demand. This niche taps into a deeply emotional and high spending audience. The market size says the US pet industry is projected at back in 2024 is projected about 150 billion plus. So big market, obviously.
Huge.
That's the pet industry. Performance and trends, personalized pet apparel. I don't want to spoil it, but we're going to hear that word a lot throughout this list. Personalization, ID tags, bowls, mats, memorial items are strong sellers. So if you lose a pet, and it also mentioned in the full report, talks about social media, kind of fueling growth in this sector because pet owners like to share their dogs on social media. Like that's a big thing, right?
Yes.
So it is like, it's very viral. It's very shareable, the pet industry.
I can second that as like having owned a brand in the dog niche that I have not since sold. I can definitely second that. People love sharing their pets' names, photos of their pets, also nicknames for their pets, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, and if you have any thoughts you have, stop me as I'm going through this. I'm just kind of reading through these things, but I definitely want to hear your thoughts and give my thoughts. Top niches in kind of this pet products: dog and cat owners, breed specific fans. That's an interesting one because that's one way I talk about to actually niche down in the pet world. And the dog niche is to actually go specific breeds. Memorial gifts, as we talked about. And then human and pet matching sets.
Oh,
interesting.
That sounds really cool for pet lovers.
Yeah. Buyer preferences. So what is the audience looking for? They're looking for quality, safety. That's an interesting one that I don't think you'll hear on any of the other categories.
Yeah.
Personalization, of course, and cuteness is one of their top preferences. It says items should be washable and durable for pet use. Interesting. Any thoughts on any of that?
What's that?
Any thoughts? Cuteness.
These are hilarious. The cuteness. I love it, man.
It makes sense
though. Like everyone, I think, I think another thing is that like people are really proud of their pets.
Yeah.
And they like to brag about their pets. They like to bring attention to their pets. Not everybody, but like a lot of people. That's why, when I was in the dog niche, we were always interacting with people, sharing photos and names and funny habits and stuff like that. Right. Yep. So the cuteness totally makes sense. A lot of people of course they want to people my wife is a huge dog lover. And many times when we're walking by a dog, she'll tell someone they have a cute dog and they look so proud. It's as if you just told them like, oh my God, I love that outfit. You say about the dog though, and they're like, oh, thank you. It's hilarious, man. Like they take so much pride in it. And I get it. So the cuteness thing totally makes sense.
Absolutely. So some platform insights. So again, we're referring to Etsy and Shopify. It says on Etsy is known for pet portraits, tags, and memorial items. Those are kind of the hot things on Etsy. It says on Shopify, Shopify is used to build pet-centric brands, specifically with Facebook and Instagram ads. So I like that. You're going to see throughout this list, it gives I think some really valuable insights on how Shopify, like how bigger brands have built their brand around these products on Shopify, on Etsy. And so this one specifically says pet-centric brands with Facebook and Instagram ads for Shopify.
That's really
interesting.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, man. Like it's such a massive market. Like there's so much traffic out there for that market. But this is why I love Shopify, because you don't have to rely on inconsistent free traffic, right? You can actually control how much traffic you get on your products. And if you have something people actually want, why would you not want to get it in front of more people? Generally, if it is something people actually want and you get it in front of more people, you make more sales. And when you make more sales, you make more profit. So yeah, that makes total sense. I have a student who does pet portraits, and I've seen some really big brands do pet portraits that are Shopify based.
Okay, number 9, I really like. I've talked about this one somewhat, not so much on the podcast maybe, but I've definitely done some content, some YouTube videos around this. Number 9 is personalized jewelry. We're only 2 in. You might be noticing the trend here, the most popular word, which is really important, but it's something I've definitely talked about a lot. That's, personalization, but personalized jewelry. So it says one of the most profitable and emotionally resonant print on demand categories, personalized jewelry, super high margins. This includes engraved necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and charms that customers can personalize with text or images. Unlike printed t-shirts or mugs, jewelry carries a higher perceived value, 100%. And I do think we have to be somewhat concise here, because this is a pretty big list. So I want to make sure we get through all these. We're going to have to do part 2. So we do need to move somewhat quickly. But talking about market size, 30 billion plus in 2024. It is growing 8 to 15% every year. So category is growing like crazy, which, if you looked at this list 2-3 years ago, it wasn't on the list, right? So it's been moving up. Performance and trends, coordinate jewelry, photo engraving, name necklaces, men's accessories are actually growing fast. It cited that. Top niches, couples, families, pets, memorials again, geographic heritage, faith and inspiration. That's a good one. And it also said musicians. I thought that was interesting. Interesting. Buyer preferences. They're looking for quality materials. So steel, sterling silver, gold plating, clean engraving, premium packaging, ease of customization is essential. That's interesting right there, because if you're going to do a Shopify store with personalized jewelry, you got to make sure it's easy to personalize.
Right.
And then some platform insights. It says Etsy is a powerhouse for customized jewelry. So it's huge on Etsy. It's really interesting verbiage it used, because it doesn't talk about Etsy like that a ton in this report, but it said a powerhouse for customized jewelry. And it says on Shopify, most of the brands doing personalized jewelry on Shopify, they're like standalone jewelry brands. So they're not doing like, upsells with jewelry and different things. Like jewelry is the main thing. And I think because it's such high margin. By the way, jewelry is also really cheap to ship because it's so lightweight and so small. Yeah. So that's a really good. And it does say it has ad driven growth. It doesn't cite a specific platform for ads, but if you have Shopify, jewelry works really well with ads. And again, that's because of the high margins, right? Like it's such high margins that you have room for those ads and then low shipping cost, it just has that high perceived value. So, customers don't mind paying huge premium for jewelry because it's jewelry, right? You think it's going to be expensive. So Adrian, love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. I totally see why, I love that jewelry is a lightweight, small, low shipping cost, high margin product. And there's print-on-demand companies like Shine On, Awkward Styles, and others that you can actually find some pretty cool jewelry that you could personalize. So, and I think a lot of people, they don't like, I feel like a lot of people think their niche, it wouldn't make sense for, but what I will say is that one of my friends who built a 7-figure brand in the fitness niche sold jewelry. Like that apparel was their number one like core product and their top seller and stuff. But they actually sold jewelry, like they sold necklaces and stuff for gym lovers, and it actually sold pretty well. Like I was actually surprised how well it sold for them. And that's not something like, I'm a fitness enthusiast, but I never think of wearing a gym necklace, right? But like, there's definitely a market for it. So I guess my message is like, if you're thinking that this might not appeal to your niche, well, maybe you should like do some research and see if people are having success doing this in your niche, or test it out, right?
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. All right, moving on to number 8. Number 8, there are a few gems in here, I got to say, but I think the details of each one are like the real. That's where the real value is. Number 8 is throw pillows and cushions. So I feel like we talked about this one other time on the podcast, but throw pillows and cushions getting into the top 8. It says it's a favorite in home decor and gift giving. Performance and trends. Designs range from pet portraits to typography and map themed prints. More fabric and size variations are available than ever. Top niches. Some good niches in here. Yeah. New homeowners. It's a cool niche. Pet lovers. Of course, pets just dominate this report. Pet lovers, holiday decor, personalized gifts. There it is again. Examples, grandkids' names, family names. Buyer preferences. They're looking for comfort, washability, double-sided printing, and whether an insert is included. Not sure I know what that means, but I'm sure. Like whether it has the stuffing in it. That's what it's talking about. Yeah.
That most likely. You can buy like some for print on demand. You can get just the cover, the cushion, or you can get like the cushion with the stuffing.
Yeah. It says popular size, 18 by 18 inches. Platform insights. It says on Etsy, personalized pillows. Like if I'm just going to spoil it. Like if you do anything on Etsy, it needs to be personalized. Like that's the theme of this report. I'm not saying that's 100% true, but it's like pretty much everything you sell that's trending on Etsy is like personalized. There's just a ton. So it says Etsy personalized pillows. Shopify, it says sold as part of themed decor stores or artist branded shops. So if you have interesting art, putting that on a pillow or a throw cushion or a throw pillow or a cushion. But also it looks like pillows maybe are not the central product of most successful stores. It's a home decor themed store, and pillows and throw cushions, or keeps wanting to say throw cushions, throw pillows and cushions are a part of that mix. Any other thoughts on that one before we move into number 7?
Yeah, I mean, it can make sense for a lot of different niches. I've sold pillows, and it was never my number one bestseller, but we did make sales of it for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's definitely something worth testing for. And I think it makes sense for a lot more niches than people actually think.
For sure. Number 7. This is one of your faves, I feel like. Number 7, tote bags.
I love tote bags.
And this report is like making me a believer. I was reading the expanded report. This is the condensed report. I was reading the expanded report, and I was like, dang, tote bags.
People are sleeping on tote bags, man. I've been
sleeping on tote bags.
People are sleeping on tote bags.
People are sleeping on
tote bags. I've made a ton of tote bag sales. Like, people are sleeping on this product.
Number 7. All right. It says totes combine fashion, function, and sustainability. This is why I'm a believer. You only have to say, if you want to make me a believer in something, you only have to say this one line. You ready?
Yeah.
It says performance and trends. Here's the line. Tote demand is at an all-time high.
Boom.
I was like, let's go, totes.
Yes.
Totes, let's go. Flat print areas make designs easy to apply. So really, really interesting thought, because most designs are going to work on a tote that you could repurpose.
Dude, it's so easy to repurpose shirt designs onto totes. Yeah. So freaking, usually you have to make no changes. Just take the shirt file, slap it on a tote.
It says premium options are trending. So large sizes, thick canvases, and embroidery are all trending in this category. Top niches. Totes excel in niches where the audience is likely to carry a bag in daily life. So things like eco-conscious shoppers, books, libraries, of course, fandoms. It mentions boba tea and cats, weddings and events, and activism. All good tote bag niches. Buyer preferences. It was like very specific. I think I may even added this from the expanded report. It was like the number one thing buyers care about is material and durability when it comes to totes. They don't want the cheapies. They want a strong canvas, so cotton and poly. They want large sizes, 15 by 15 plus, and bold or stylish prints. Many use totes to express values or identity. Interesting.
100%.
Here's the platform insights. Etsy, personalized totes for gifts, events, and weddings are common. On Shopify, it says used to complement apparel or lifestyle brands. Thought that was really great. You'll hear that. You're going to hear that a couple times throughout the report. And it's just like a lot of these, and especially number 6 coming up, a lot of these we've talked about, like, don't sell this as your primary product. Make it a complementary product, an upsell product, part of your catalog, but not the primary thing you're promoting. You probably don't want to run ads to tote bags in most cases. Maybe you do, but in most cases, right? Like, it's not the main product. Would you agree with that?
100%. I sell a lot of tote bags, and I'm one of the apparel brands that it's a complementary product, but I could never run tote bag ads profitably because the margins just aren't big enough. So it would be a complementary, like a cross-sell, upsell, complementary product.
Yep.
And a lot of people, you draw someone in with, let's say, a hoodie or a sweatshirt, and then you cross-sell them this design on a tote bag, and it can make a lot of sense for a lot of people. And I think a lot of people too would be willing to, like, put a design on a tote bag that they might not necessarily want to wear on a shirt, but they would be willing to put it on a tote bag.
Yeah. Moving into number 6, which I just mentioned, is also in the same category, even more so. Stickers and decals. Number 6. Low cost and trend responsive stickers dominate Etsy's craft category. So it does specifically note in here, Etsy's a huge place for stickers, which I wasn't really aware of. Performance and trends. It says viral meme stickers, themed packs, frequent product refreshes are key strategies. So you got to have a lot of designs, different types of, stickers and different things. Packs and bundles can raise your average order value. Nice tip. Top niches, fandoms. It specifically notes Swifties and K-pop. Planners. These are niches. Planners, small business branding, pets, and seasonal humor. Buyer preferences. They like waterproof vinyl, die-cut shapes, collectability. That's cool. Often they like things like buy 3, get 1 free. This can increase your volume. Some platform insights. It says Etsy is like a go-to place for stickers. And Shopify says, again, often included as part of a lifestyle or merch brand. So again, they're not the main thing. They're a complementary product to, a product line that you might have with another product.
Yeah. I've always kind of passed on the stickers because they're just such a small, like cost, small profit margin product. I like if anyone's making it work, awesome, and I love that for you. But I just have never considered it. It's just sell like $5, $4. Like it's just I don't know, man. It's just I just don't. I haven't felt like it was worth my time personally. I would rather focus on a higher profit margin products personally. But I bet you there's a number of people just crushing it with stickers.
Okay, number 5, interesting one here. I feel like past number 5, when we get to 4, 3, 2, 1, there's no surprises. There is some really good insights.
Yeah.
I was kind of like secretly hoping that like number 1 would be some random product. I'd be like, what?
Really? You thought number 1 would be random?
No, I didn't think that.
Maybe number 2, but
I was hoping that like, I was hoping like the top 3, there'd be like some just new, like, whoa, like whatever. Let's get number 5 though. Number 5 is phone cases. Smartphone accessories continue to be high demand print-on-demand products. Market size, $24.1 billion in 2024, growing to $26 billion plus in 2025. So it's growing. I think everything in the top 10, the market sizes are like they're growing because we're talking about top 10 products. I think the question is like, how much are they growing? Like are they growing at a pretty rapid rate? And these top ones are going to be growing even more than maybe some of the bottom ones. But performance and trends. So phone cases, all over prints, photo uploads. So like these custom ones with photos, eco-friendly options are trending. New phone releases drive demand spikes. So we've mentioned this before that anytime there's a new phone, like you have an opportunity, right? There's people looking for phone cases. Top niches, pop culture, pets, aesthetic art, humor, and personalized gifts. Buyer preferences, they are looking for a quality fit on the phone. Vibrant prints, slim and thick options, both popular. I'm a thin guy. I don't know about you. Thin case.
Slim and thick. I don't even have one, man.
What?
Like, yeah.
Dude, our audience is gonna come after you. What are you doing? Get a case on your phone.
I've gone years without a case, man. I just don't drop my phone much.
Wow.
If I do, I'll just have to get a new one.
I got like glass screen protector and all that stuff.
Oh, do you? Okay. Yeah, I never crack my phone, like ever.
It's my wife. It's my wife mainly though. Like she has to like, she needs like the tire that just goes around it. Anyways, platform insights, Etsy, personalized and graphic cases sell well. Shopify, it says, interesting, used by influencers and niche brands. So just an interesting insight there. Phone cases do well with influencers.
Yeah.
Nice insight.
Phone cases is one that I do really like. Nice. I like it because they're lightweight, like jewelry. They're super cheap to ship. They're small. They're high profit margin, and their phone cases are always changing because phones are always changing. And so, plus, like most people do seem to have phone cases, and a lot of people want a cool phone case. They don't just want like a super generic one, right? And it could even be like a non-design one. Like, my wife and I were pretty eco-conscious, and she has a biodegradable phone case, which is really cool because it aligns with our values, and it does have like a little design on it. But the big reason she bought it was because it was biodegradable.
That's cool.
And if you're in the eco-conscious niche, or if you're in the environmental niche, that could make a lot of sense for you. Kind of like tote bags, That's
great. 100%. Okay, moving into the top 4. Again, I don't think there's any surprises here. Maybe the order, I don't know. Not any surprises here, but I think there is some really good insights. So definitely, and then right after we go through number 1, I'll go through the list of the worst selling print-on-demand products. That will be really interesting as well. But number 4, best-selling print-on-demand products in 2025, according to AI, wall art, posters, prints, and canvas. Another one that I just feel like over the last, 5 years, just like slowly moving up the list, getting more popular. It says art prints have surged post-pandemic as people continue decorating their spaces. Platform or performance and trends, posters, canvases, metal prints. We've talked about that a little bit on the podcast before. And multi-panel sets are popular. Trends include wabi sabi.
What?
I don't know what that is.
I got to Google that.
Trends include wabi sabi, patriotic art, interesting, and nursery decor. Top niches: fan art, maps, motivational quotes, abstract art. Here it is again: personalized family or wedding gifts. Buyer preferences: high resolution print quality, so 300 DPI. Size variety, so options. Framed options and unique artwork. What I've seen in the wall art category a lot is people. So it's like brands that have a niche, but they also have a specific style. Like they have a unique art style. So that's something to think about, I think, when it comes to wall art. Some platform insights: Etsy, personalized and niche focused prints dominate, and Shopify, often used by artists to build branded stores. That's an interesting one there. That's one I'm sure that, the data is there, so I understand it, but I definitely think wall art can also be great with just like niche focused stores, right? Just be a great product for that. But
totally,
I think it does. Most of the time, if you're selling wall art, you do need it's got to look good on a wall. So you know what I mean? Like it's a different kind of art style than you would probably put on apparel for the most part.
Yeah.
Because it is going in somebody's space.
Yeah. It's funny. The Shopify one is kind of funny. Used by artists to build branded stores. Like I've met multiple 7-figure brand owners who are not artists that have wall art Shopify stores, and they're 100%. Crushing it with wall art because it's a high profit margin product. And it's unique and it's less competitive than a lot of apparel. So I thought that was kind of funny. The theme of personalized on Etsy doesn't surprise me at all because most people go to Etsy to find unique stuff. I think if you just went on Etsy, you would think like the whole world bought personalized products. I think way more people buy non-personalized products, but on Etsy, that's where people go for them, right? Like if I were planning a bachelor party and I wanted to get bachelor shirts, I would go to Etsy and look for shirts for the bachelor party, right? But it's funny because when you go on there, you see that these personalized products are crushing it, and they are. But like when you look at the Shopify stores, most of them are crushing it without personalized products, but there are also ones crushing with personalized products as well. It's just, it's so different because Etsy started as like handmade goods marketplace, and it still kind of has that cachet to it. Like people don't go there looking for brands. They go looking there for products, for specific products or designs or specific niches. And, like it's not surprising at all that personalization is like a consistent trend across here. But back to wall art, I don't want people to think that they have to be an artist to build a branded store with wall art on Shopify. You absolutely do not. You've met a lot of really successful wall art sellers too. We've both met a lot, and I'm sure they weren't all artists. Like the ones I met weren't.
No, but I do think like most of the ones I've met, they did have a unique art style. Right. I'm thinking of I've met an owner that had a 7-figure plus owner that had it was a line art thing. Right. And it was personalized. Nice. The map, star maps, and different things like that. Yeah. I met another one that was more just niche focused designs, but they had like this specific style of art that was like their unique style. So it was kind of like in a niche, but with a specific style of art that looked really cool on a wall. It was I think it was pop culture. Like it was pop culture designs based around pop culture stuff, but it was like super unique style of art. So that's what I've seen as far as like owners I've met and stuff. But
yeah, I'm not surprised at all that wall art is number 4. It's one of those like sleeping giants. You know, I feel like it's a product that a lot of people don't really think about or consider, but. Man, it's got so much. I mean, the numbers don't lie. It's number 4. And you can look at print on demand companies like Printify and other print on demand companies, Gelato, wall art. Their sellers are selling a ton of wall art. Just before we got into the next one, I Googled wabi-sabi so that our listeners don't have to. Wabi-sabi is a Japanese philosophy and aesthetic that embraces impermanence, imperfection, and natural simplicity, finding beauty in the flaws and transient nature of things. I love that, man. I love the sound of that. I think I could get into wabi-sabi.
Hey, let's go. I think I've seen those kind of designs.
I have to learn how to pronounce it first, but yeah.
It's probably not pronounced wabi-sabi. My Oklahoma accent comes out. All right, let's get into the top three. Top three. Number 3, no surprise, mugs and drinkware. It says mugs are best sellers due to their affordability, giftability, and emotional appeal. Performance and trends. There's some interesting insights here. Ceramic mugs dominate, just that's the kind of the normal ones, but demand for color accent, enamel, and travel mugs is growing. I don't know if it's in here, but it did specifically say in the expanded report, any niche focused on like outdoors, you got to include like I think it's the enamel mugs, they're like the campfire mugs or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
It specifically noted that. It says many sellers offer bundled gift sets. Top niches, pet lovers, office humor, interesting one, relationships, hobbyists, so gamers, gardeners, and seasonal themes. Buyer preferences, they're looking for durable, dishwasher safe. It's interesting. Quality handle, emotional or clever design. Again, personalization is huge. Custom name photo mugs are top sellers. Platform insights, Etsy is a powerhouse for personalized mugs. It like says the same thing every time.
Yeah.
Like, just personalize it on Etsy.
Right.
Shopify. Okay, here another one that says this, because this is what we talk about all the time with mugs and drinkware. It says on Shopify, mugs often support a broader brand theme. So they're not going to be the main thing due to margins, but they're going to be a great addition to your catalog and to add on to orders, increase AOV, et cetera, et cetera. Thoughts on mugs?
Yeah, I like mugs, man. They're super giftable. They're really easy to put designs on, and it's like a very universal product. It's everyone owns mugs, and I feel like it's one of those products that could appeal to pretty much any single niche.
Yeah, I would say one thing I would take from this report is like if you are going to get into mugs and drinkware, I would personally do something around some of the more interesting styles of mugs and drinkware as opposed to just the regular ceramic mugs. Now, it does say ceramic mugs dominate, but it says that demand is really growing for the interesting mugs. I know in my house, like we have tons of mugs, but like none of them are normal. They're all weird. They're all like shaped funny, or they're just some kind of special, style. And it's like, that's probably what I would lean into just to create a little bit of differentiation in your brand would be some of the more niche mugs.
Yeah, no, you're totally right, man. Like the generic mugs, they're kind of like an evergreen product that can always sell good. But I definitely feel like there's new drinkware that's really trending right now. That's really started trending in the last couple of years. So obviously the Stanley style tumblers, that's huge. The skinny tumblers with straws, that's also really, really trendy. And there's another one, it's like a glass mug. This is actually one of the early access products from Printify right now. I'm seeing those sell really, really well right now.
Yep.
And you're right about the enamel mugs for outdoor enthusiasts. Like that makes so much sense.
Are you ready for number 2?
Let's hear it.
All right, man. Again, no surprise, but again, some interesting stuff in here. Number 2 is hoodies and sweatshirts. It says these cozy, stylish garments are booming in fashion and casual wear. Interesting stuff. So market context, it says it is part of the $764 billion online apparel market in 2025. Huge market. Performance and trends, it specifically notes oversized fits. And it also notes all over prints. And it says champion brand PODs hoodies are trending. We saw this on one of the lists. And we were kind of like, are they? I remember having that conversation. Like, are they?
I think that was Shopify who said that.
Here it is
in
again.
One of their blog articles.
Yeah. I actually want to read. I do want to read a little bit of the expanded report on this because I feel like there was some good stuff in there. So this is number 2. So let's just spend a little more time here, kind of exploring this. So it says like t-shirts, hoodies sell year round, but they especially surge in cooler months. It also mentions embroidery. I think that talk about that in a minute here. But I want to read this part because it didn't actually mention this in the condensed. It says hoodies are in high demand among fashion conscious buyers looking for comfort. Oversized, relaxed fits are trending. So it says, this is what it says. It says interest in oversized hoodies and sweatpants jumped 20% in the past year.
That makes, dude, I totally believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it specifically mentions all over print hoodies, which allow designs to cover the entire garment, have exploded in popularity as well. Interesting. It says the all over print hoodies command higher prices, but appeal to streetwear fans who want bold, head turning designs. So yeah, I'll leave the expanded report there. And then it says top niches: gaming, anime, music, pets, teams, fashion forward streetwear. Buyer preferences: they specifically want fleece interiors, relaxed fits, eco-friendly fabrics. It's a good one right there. And then custom embroidery or prints. I know one of the super trendy items on hoodies and sweatshirts are the custom embroidered hoodies. Just it gives a higher perceived value. You can charge more money. And I know like this on the sleeves, actually embroidering on the sleeves has been a big trend.
Huge.
And then wrapping it up with some platform insights. It says Etsy custom bridal party or family hoodies sell well. This is an interesting one I haven't thought about. Is like it does make sense though, because you've seen like the bridal parties that they're all wearing like the matching like loungewear sets. So that's an interesting one to think about. And then it says Shopify. Okay, this is great. And there is, let me see, there might be some expanded data on this, but it says hoodies are, actually, let me go back. Sorry. It says hoodies are often hero products on Shopify stores. Here's what the expanded says. It says many Shopify niche stores do well with hoodies as a hero product. Etsy has plenty of hoodie sales too, often customized. It says overall hoodies are top performers across platforms. They are platform agnostic. It's a blank canvas for art and slogans that customers can literally wear to represent their passions. So I thought this was interesting. You know, it said hoodies make a great hero product. So your primary product. Yeah. We've talked about hoodies and sweatshirts both have a little bit of higher margins than t-shirts. They can be one of the higher margin items. They can have that higher perceived value. And I just think it is a good base product, right? I feel like most clothing brands are going to have hoodies and t-shirts, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to create just a hoodie line, right? And then add some complementary products with that, but make hoodies kind of the primary thing.
Yeah, hoodies are my number one best-selling apparel product of all time.
Nice.
Like by a country mile. And I love that because we make way more profit on hoodies than we do on t-shirts, way more. So we love that it is our hero product. It's the only product that I sell more of is hats. I don't consider that apparel. It's not like shirts, right? When I think of shirts, hoodies is by far my number one best-selling product. And I think a lot of people don't think hoodies, I don't know. They just I look at a lot of brands and they don't offer hoodies. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you should test that out. Maybe you should test that. If you're offering t-shirts and you have some winning designs that are making a lot of sales, I think you should expand that collection to hoodies and sweatshirts at a minimum. Mm-hmm. Sweatshirts are super trendy. They've just blown up over the last couple of years. And embroidered sweatshirts, personalized embroidered sweatshirts for sure, but also just non-personalized embroidered sweatshirts. Like I've sold a ton of non-personalized embroidered sweatshirts. And you're matching like a trendy style sweatshirts, oversized sweatshirts is really trendy. And then you're putting that with another trend, which is embroidered designs. Mm-hmm. And can do really, really well. There's a lot of people doing really well with it. And I've personally made a lot of sales from that.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my it's probably number 2 for me. Number one being t-shirts, like second best selling product ever. And the hoodies always did way better than have always done way better than the crew neck sweatshirts, even though I feel like crew necks gained in popularity a little bit the last few years. But yeah, one of my best selling products for sure. Are you ready for number one?
Let's do it, man. Hit me with it. I can't imagine what it could possibly be.
It's
face masks.
Face masks. It's glasses cleaning.
One of those microfiber cloths. Those are the number one best-selling print-on-demand product. Okay.
Number one, no surprise, best-selling print-on-demand products according to AI, custom T-shirts. There is some interesting insights in here for sure. So I'm going to read from the expanded report here to start. Here's the deal, is that there's a lot of people out there that think T-shirts are dead. There's a lot of people out there that think like T-shirts are too saturated. You can't break into the T-shirt market. There's too many brands. The report says otherwise. So let's find out what it says. It says niche themed T-shirts allow Shopify merchants to target specific communities. You ready for this? T-shirts remain the undisputed best-selling print-on-demand product in 2025. Thanks to their universal appeal and versatility, this category is massive. The global custom T-shirt printing market is valued around $5 to $6 billion in 2024, projected to reach $5.7 billion or more in 2025, and demand is steady year-round since T-shirts are a wardrobe staple in all seasons. You don't have to worry about seasonality. Print-on-demand tees are easy to produce and endlessly customizable, making them a go-to for print-on-demand entrepreneurs and established brands alike. Why did that get me pumped? I'm a T-shirt fan.
What I liked about this is that it specified like niche specific T-shirts. And I think where a lot of the confusion is because people are like, oh, T-shirts are so oversaturated, don't sell them. And yes, they're absolutely oversaturated if you're trying to sell T-shirts to everyone. But if you try to sell to everyone, you sell to no one. Yes. You're competing with Walmart. You're competing with Target, who might be selling T-shirts similar to yours for like $8. And you like, how can you even compete, right? That doesn't even cover the cost of production. But like when you niche down, all of a sudden, the market becomes way smaller, like way, way smaller. But that's a good thing because then you can differentiate, right? Like if you're creating T-shirts for corgi lovers, you're not competing with T-shirts for fitness lovers and T-shirts for wine lovers. And you know what I mean? Like you're only competing with other brands selling T-shirts for corgi lovers. And I think this is where the message gets kind of blurred and people get discouraged about T-shirts because they're like, oh, everyone says T-shirts are dead, T-shirts saturated. No, there's all the evidence shows that people are still wearing T-shirts. People are still buying T-shirts. It's still the number one best-selling product. But like I would never recommend anyone just create generic T-shirts because then like every single T-shirt is kind of like your competitor, right? Yeah. Versus the corgi example where all of a sudden you can like carve out your own market and you can just monetize that market. You can dominate that market. And I mean, that's the way to do it in 2025. I mean, it's been the way to do it for years, right? But I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Okay, so I'm going to keep reading from the expanded report because this part is really good as well. Performance and trends. It says T-shirt sales keep growing around 10% annually. Just steady Eddie over here, just boom. Success in 2025 comes from catering to niche audiences with distinctive designs. Black shirts are the perennial favorite blank, a versatile canvas for any graphic. Many sellers broaden their catalog beyond basic tees to include tank tops, long sleeves, heavy cotton versus tri-blend options to suit customer preferences. Also important to include accurate size charts. This is critical to reduce returns. Okay, talking about niche strengths or top niches, fandoms. It specifically notes gaming, anime, pop culture, humor, social causes, identity groups. Niche targeting is key to success.
Boom.
It specifically says that.
Yes.
Let's go.
Amen.
You need a niche. Buyer preferences. They want soft T-shirts, high quality fabric with designs that resonate emotionally.
100%. Yep.
Personalization, again, names, jokes, events is a strong selling point. Platform insights, Etsy. Etsy personalized and occasion-based tees, as always. And then Shopify says often used for building niche t-shirt brands. So as we teach, as we love to say. So that's the list, Adrian. I love t-shirts. I'm a t-shirt man. So
yeah, no, I love it, man. Black t-shirts are my number one selling color of all time. And I start pretty much every single t-shirt at a minimum on black because I know that it's a best selling color, and it's very rare that someone will be like, oh, I'm not going to buy this t-shirt because it's on a black t-shirt, right? I'm not going to buy this down because it's on a black t-shirt. A lot of times, if you put it on like a lime green, you will get that. People will be like, oh, why is this design on a lime green t-shirt, right?
Exactly.
But black is like, it's like the black t-shirts are just a fan favorite. And the nice thing about them too is that they don't stain as easily. Designs look really good on white designs. I feel like look really good on black, and it is kind of a slimming color and whatnot. There's a lot of benefits.
100%. All right. As promised, let's go through where I'm going to quickly kind of blast through the worst selling print on demand products in 2025. According to AI, I've got top 10.
Let's go.
I think there's 3 on here that are in the best selling. So
what?
There's an explanation. There's an explanation why. It's a specific kind. I'm not going to read the explanations on all these, but I will read a few of them. So number 10, generic phone cases. So we had phone cases was what? Number 5? Number 10. So these are going in order from like 10 is like the best of the worst, and number 1 is like the worst of the worst.
Right.
So
but
10 is
emphasis on
cases.
the generic. Emphasis on the generic phone cases.
Because the explanation here is it says with a vast array of phone cases options available, generic designs without personalization or unique features have struggled to attract customers. Exactly. The preference for customized or branded cases has overshadowed the market for standard printed versions. So
totally.
Absolutely. Number 9, printed keychains. Boo. Number 8, greeting cards. Number 7, printed coasters.
Okay.
Interesting. Interesting.
Never sold those before.
It says they've seen reduced interest as customers opt for more functional or aesthetically unique home accessories. And there's an abundance of coaster options. Decreased sales. I don't know. Number 6, standard tote bags. It says standard designs without unique features or personalization have struggled to stand out. Consumers are gravitating towards more distinctive or eco-friendly options, leaving generic tote bags with declining sales.
Makes sense.
Number 5, printed mouse pads. I thought the explanation was pretty interesting. It basically said like the prevalence of optical and laser mice led to the downfall of mouse pads.
Laser mice.
Yeah. Number 4, this is a big one. Non-personalized generic mugs. While personalized mugs remain popular, generic non-customized mugs have struggled in the POD market. Consumers are increasingly seeking unique and personalized items. There you go.
I think too, like emphasis on generic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just selling a white mug in your shop with nothing on it. Like who's going to buy that? You can go to like Walmart and buy that for like $1.
Yeah. Or with just like, a bland design, like, nothing like really that kind of stands out or gets attention or, gets that emotional pull. Okay. The top 3 are just crazy. Number 3, like this is who is selling this? Number 3 is CD cases. What in the? I don't know. When's the last time I listened to a CD? 20 years ago. Who's selling CD cases?
Hey, you know how records are like trendy and they made like a huge like comeback? Oh. Dude, maybe CDs are the next big domino to just like take off.
I mean, maybe, but I just don't know how they're not as cool as records, but like maybe they will be.
I'm more joking than anything.
Well, I mean, maybe though, but it's like there's something about records is cooler than CDs. Like CDs, it's like CDs are too digital. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. But I'm with you. Like, who is even selling these? You know what I mean?
Apparently, there's print on demands that offer them, or it wouldn't be on this list. But it says their CDs are nearly obsolete. So there you go. Okay, number 2. This one kind of surprised me a little bit, actually, because I don't know. Number 2 is calendars. I don't know. I understand it says they're declining due to the widespread adoption of digital alternatives. I still think a lot of people like to have a cool calendar, like in their office or whatever, but like that's number 2. So it's worse than CD cases.
Wow. That's actually pretty surprising, especially because calendars can sell popularly in seasonal times, right?
Yeah.
Like leading up to New Year and stuff.
Yeah. Number 1, you mentioned it earlier. Number 1 is face masks. We don't have to explain. It just says the surge in demand. That was during the early 2020s, driven by global health concerns. And by 2025, it's declined significantly. So
no shocker there.
Masks. There you go. So those are the worst selling print on demand products in 2025, according to AI. We also went through the best ones. Any final thoughts on this list?
No, man, that was a lot of fun hearing what they had to say. And I mean, I can back a lot of these things, like a lot of their top selling products are my top selling products. So yeah.
100%. Yeah. And I think it's just interesting, this wasn't like AI making up stuff. Obviously it's pulling from all these different sources. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty good information, I think. So yeah, I think that's it. Adrian, I appreciate your insights today. I think it was a fun episode.
This was fun.
And with that, we want to thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Print on Demand Playbook podcast. If you enjoy this episode, please consider leaving us an honest review on whichever platform you're listening from. We really, really appreciate it. So thank you in advance, and we will talk very soon.